Hello there. Are you at the point in this year when you're kind of thinking to yourself, I'd like to see the manager? Well, I'm feeling that way too, so watch the following video, like or subscribe, and peace. Hello there, my name is Billie Juliana. I'm 49 years old and I have a 40-year history of dealing with anorexia nervosa, and I'm currently following the recovery methods espoused by Tabitha Farrar, Kayla Rose Katecki, and Elisa Orris. And today I want to talk about a picture that I posted on Instagram in December of 2019. And this picture was basically a Happy New Year picture, and it was forecasting well wishes and happiness and good health and love for 2020. And so I'm kind of now in 2020 looking back on my post from 2019 thinking, what happened? So I'm gonna go ahead and show you that picture. It didn't get all that many views on Instagram, so I'm gonna show it to you in this video, but I need to set the scene for that picture before I show it to you. So let me set the scene, bear with me. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park is in East Tennessee. From Nashville, it's about a 3.5-hour drive away. And so if you go to visit the Smoky Mountains, it's usually an overnight trip. But that's all right because there's stuff to do there. It's very touristy, I have to admit that, but the national park is very beautiful in and of itself. In fact, it is the most popular in terms of visits park in the United States. It has more people going there and visiting than Yellowstone or Yosemite or any of the other big national parks in the US. And it's probably because it is gorgeous, yes, but it's very easily accessible. It's in a very kind of population dense area, and so it's just a lot of people can get there pretty easily. So there is a little town at the base of the national parks that's not part of the national park, but it has built up over the years into a tourist haven, and it's called Gatlinburg. And Gatlinburg, well, it's been there since I was really, really little, and it's just thrived because, like I said, it's at the base of the mountains, and it is just a tourist haven. They've lots of things for kids to do, lots of crazy rides and things like that. So it's very, very fun and entertaining for kids. Now, it's a little kitschy and campy, so you kind of have to get over that when you're there. But there is a lot of fun atmosphere in Gatlinburg proper. Outside of Gatlinburg, actually, they've expanded even further and gotten even more touristy. It gets really crazy outside of the national park. But Gatlinburg itself is just like a little hamlet that is very tourist-oriented and built up to entertain you. And like I said, it's been there since I was little, but it's only gotten stronger over the years. Now, of course, I don't know what 2020 has done to it. And it's suffered some damage in recent years. There were some wildfires around there, but it's survived that, and hopefully it will survive the current global pandemic issues as well. But back to setting up the scene for this picture. So last May, in May of 2019, a suspension bridge was opened up there, and it is the longest pedestrian suspension bridge in North America. So that's a big deal. It's like I said, it's a suspension bridge. So that means when you walk on it, it kind of wavers and it's kind of spongy. And so it's kind of a crazy thing, but it's the longest one in North America. That's cool. And so my friend Everett was like, hey, you want to go visit that? And I was like, yes, let's do that. So we made a weekend trip where we went and booked a couple of nights in Gatlinburg, and the bridge is actually in Gatlinburg. It's part of an old tourist area where there's a chairlift that takes you to the top. And it used to be, back in the old days, that the chairlift just took you up an incline, and then at the very top there is a souvenir shop, and you can kind of look out over the Smoky Mountains and then ride the chairlift back down. But now there's a bridge, so you take that same chairlift that's been there for ages, since I was young. You take the same chairlift up, and they built out the plaza at the top so that it's got fountains and rocking chairs and a bigger souvenir shop, and then you have the stairs that take you to the bridge, and then the bridge that spans you know, I don't know, from one rocky outcrop to another, and I don't know how long it is, but it's the longest in North America. And so you walk across the bridge and you get to another platform where you can look out over the Smoky Mountains. So there's 2 endpoints where you can look out over the Smoky Mountains. So it's just absolutely breathtaking and it's gorgeous. And so I was excited about this. And we went down there on a Friday night. We got down there and we got our rooms and we stayed in our rooms overnight. And then the next morning I was ready to go. And Everett's a little slower than me, so I got up early and I went down and I could walk to the ticket booth. I got our tickets, and the tickets were good for all day ride. You know, you could ride all day, but this thing had just opened and it's very popular, so I knew it would be crowded. So I was like, let's go, let's get on this thing, let's get up there. And so finally Everett roused himself, and so I met him down on the street. I had my phone, I was like, where are you? But met him down on the street. I gave him his wristband to get on the ride. We got in line, it was not that long, and we got on the chairlift, and it had been so long since I'd ridden that chairlift that I was just overjoyed to be in it. I was like, oh, I forgot how fun this is. And I also forgot one other thing, and that is about 3/4 of the way up the incline, there's a camera, and the camera takes your picture. It's like a tourist thing. You know how sometimes when you go whitewater rafting, they take your picture along the route? Well, this is the same thing. So there's a camera up there. I totally forgot about that. But anyway, there is a sign on the incline that warns you, hey, smile, there's a camera, and then there's a tinny voice that says,
smile, you're about to have your picture taken.
But anyway, I've forgotten all about this. And so we're riding up the incline, and I cannot stop talking. Does this strike you as abnormal? I could not stop talking. I was just, Everett had never been to Gatlinburg, by the way. And so I'm sitting there yammering about old memories about having been to Gatlinburg and how excited I am about this bridge and yum, 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 and just was just chatter, chatter, chatter. I could not stop talking. I was totally excited and having the time of my life, swinging my legs. It was just too fun. And so I totally forgot, as I said, about the damn camera. Now, Everett, on the other hand, he's over on his side of the bench, halfway listening to me. And so he notices the sign halfway that says that there's a camera. And then he kind of hears a tinny thing that's like saying, smile, the flash is about to go off. But nevertheless, I missed it entirely. And so all of a sudden the flash goes off and I'm in mid-sentence. And Everett, to his credit, was trying his best to get in position to smile for the camera, and he didn't quite make it. And so this is what resulted from that moment. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the picture that just caught us candidly on our chairlift ride up the incline. Okay, roll tape. All right, thank you for enduring that photo, and thank you for hanging with me until this part of the video. So now what I want to do is just go through the rest of the day that day. So after the flash went off on the chairlift, I turned to Everett and I was like, oh no, I forgot about the camera. Oh my gosh, we've got to do this again because we weren't ready. That's going to be the worst picture. And he was like, well, I was trying to get ready, but I just didn't get there in time. And so we rode the chairlift on up to the top, to the platform where the bridge is. And there was a tour guide there that shunted us off to the souvenir shop so that we could see digitized versions of the photos that were taken. And so we went up there, we looked, and when we saw our picture, we burst out laughing. I mean, so hard that both of us had bladder control issues. It was that funny. We're just consummate dorks in that picture. There's no other way around it. I feel like I look like I'm in a children's high chair. I mean, no pun intended about the chairlift and everything, but I look like I'm in a little high chair. Oh, it's just dorky. So it's just completely dorky. And Everett ended up buying the picture because he just couldn't do without it. It's so precious to him. And so he bought it, and he got a hard copy of it. And then we went ahead and visited the bridge, and that was a thrill. It was a lovely experience. And then after we did the bridge, we rode the chairlift back down, and we went on into the Great Smoky Mountains National Park on this really, really nice day, visited the park. And then later that afternoon, we came back and we kind of went our separate ways in the afternoon. And I sneaked back and got on the chairlift again. I stood in a long line this time to get on it, because by this time everybody had kind of massed around the bridge phenomenon. And so I stood in line and I got on it, and I went up there and I was going to pose for the picture. I was going to be ready for it. I got on it solely to have my picture retaken. And so I got up there, and when they gave the warning, smile, I was like, totally posed. The flash went off and I was like, woo! And we got to the top, and of course I'm by myself, and the chairs disembarked and I got off, and the tour guide shunted me off to the souvenir shop so I could look at the digitized versions of the photos. And I was looking, and I saw all these great photos of other people, and I was like, where's me? And I was looking and looking, and there was no picture. So I asked the clerks at the souvenir shop, I was like, I don't see my picture here. And they said, oh, well, you know, when it gets really busy, the camera just sometimes doesn't capture all the images. And I was like, well, the flash went off. And they were like, yeah, but still, it doesn't get all of them. We're sorry. So it was just meant to be. It was meant to be that that picture be the one that encapsulates our visit to the bridge last June in 2019. And you know what? Basically, I got to ride the chairlift twice because I loved being on the chairlift. The chairlift is a nice metaphor for how I want to live. I want so much to be held in a chair and otherwise to be free and just to have the breeze blowing and have the temperature be the right thing and have the day be nice and all of that. I just want to be held like that. Whatever the case may be, I got to do it twice on that day, even though I only got one picture out of it. But the one picture is good enough. It's precious. And so in December of 2019, I went ahead and posted that picture on Instagram, on my Instagram account. And I basically was saying this picture provides a nice summary of 2019. It says it all. It says #unprepared. It says glad I'm not the only dork on earth. It also says trying not to compare legs. And it also says, can we do this next year, only better? Now, let's get to that last thing. That was my New Year's greeting, fully expecting 2020 actually to be better. Because 2019, it was all right, but, you know, with every new year, you kind of want something better. Well, I have to say that so far, things have been kind of strange, tragic, tough. And as this pandemic issue unfurls, I feel all the more stressed and all the more fearful, because I know that the world as I knew it before is not going to be the same. And so it's going to be different. And I don't really know how it's going to be different. And so the only thing I can do in the here and now, other than worry, of course, which I try not to do, but it's very hard. I know that a lot of us who are older have responsibilities that we're trying to take care of with these strictures out there in the environment. And so it's very, very tough for all of us. But I still have to put anorexia recovery as my #1 priority. And I know I've said this in other videos, but it bears repeating, because if there's a future with me in it, I don't want to drag my eating disorder along into it. Now more than ever. Now more than ever. And I want to say that last year, that camera and that flash, that caught us off guard. And yet what came out of it was something that was pretty precious. At first it was like, oh no, something bad's happened here. And then something pretty precious came out of it. 2020, this pandemic and the tornadoes that have happened here, they're tragic and they've caught us off guard. And yet something precious can come out of it if we are to survive this. And that can be our complete liberation from an eating disorder once and for all. So I don't want to minimize the tragedy that is going on right now. And like I said, all of us are feeling heightened stress and heightened worry. But I want to emerge on the other side of this, or through it, or beyond, with something precious. And that is me liberated from anorexia. So having said that, I encourage everyone who is watching recovery videos to keep eating unrestrictedly, or at least start eating unrestrictedly. Rest as much as you can for a prolonged period. Do not worry about body weight anymore. Please take care, and until next time, peace.